Welcome back to the inside of my mind. And first things off, the challenge is going okay. I say okay because, again, it was harder to wake up today, but you just gotta put into your brain that you're gonna wake up. And on that words, I saw Fuzzy from YouTube tweet yesterday. If you don't know him, he's just a creator that I watch a lot of stuff, and he was talking about how he was asking for ways for the morning to get, to flow better or whatever, and saying that coffee wasn't working as well anymore and stuff like that. So he was asking for ideas. I began to think about it. I was like, there's a few things that probably would work well in that situation. One is to probably stop with any type of caffeine or anything, because you know, just like any other thing like that, it gets to a point where it just needs more and more to work as effectively. It is not a long-term solution that's useful. For that, there's way more natural and more useful ways to do that. And one of those would be just having a morning routine, that you're gonna get up and do these certain things, and just commit yourself to that. Like how I have kind of a morning routine that includes what we're doing right here, and that I gotta admit, it gets me up in the morning. It wakes me up. I get ready for the day. I get to talk about what's kind of going on, and then I get to go and do some really fun things, or just go to work, and that allows me to, this allows me to get ready. I know that doing like a workout or exercising in the morning is really good. It gets your the blood flowing, your muscles going, everything like that, and it gets you ready for the day. And also, I know that just having a more regular sleep schedule, for like when you going to bed at a certain time, waking up around the same time, that really helps. Like with me, I try, and also getting the right amount of sleep, of course. That's probably why you're tired. But I go to bed around 9:30, 10ish. I wake up at 6, and that gives me the amount of sleep I need. But it also maintains a good schedule. So my body gets used to it, and once your body gets used to it, you actually sleep better, which causes you to be less tired. And all around, those are a few simple things to be looking into. So if you're having problems, like Fuzzy was, about getting up at a certain time, waking up in the morning and being motivated, just again, set a schedule, do things a little more naturally, have a routine, all that stuff will help you a lot. And that's about all that I can really say about it. So a couple things I wanted to talk about today, was one, it was about how I'm doing right now, and kind of where I'm scheduled. So yesterday it was more, I guess, more of a figuring out exactly what I wanted to do. And I've decided, hey, you know what? I really want to do short, so let's do 5 a day at the minimum. And it might take me maybe less than an hour on some days, maybe more than an hour on some days, but around an hour's amount of time. And then I also am still posting 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week. And then I want to do this podcast actually daily. I was going to do weekly, but I want to post this one daily and really document the days with you. So that is something I decided on too. So I'm kind of really excited about that. I'm ready to get started on this challenge. I think again, I wanted, if you didn't know exactly what the challenge is going to be, I wanted to hit probably 100,000, a million subscribers, and I wanted to do it within the next 4 months. And also I wanted to do like $500,000 more for the company I'm working at, and again in the next 4 or 5 months. And yeah, so that it sounds crazy, but it's better to set high expectations than low ones. Because high expectations, you really have to work for. Low expectations, you'll say, oh, I can slack off. But with the high expectations, you feel like, hey, I can't. Also, another thing I thought about doing, which not exactly sure how that would work, is, see, I found this house that I want to buy, right? It's kind of been my dream house for a while. But obviously, I probably don't have enough money to afford it. I'm probably not even close. And I was looking at it, and when you go to like Zillow or whatever, where it's for sale, and you see the like, what is it, the estimated monthly loan if you did a loan, and I was like, maybe this is the amount of money I should shoot for. every month to have at least this and save that away at least. And that will get me to the point where I'm feeling at the point where either I am gonna I save enough to buy it, or I get to the point where I'm like, hey, um, I I I I'm capable enough to put rent down on this house. If you want to know that number, it's $32,000, and based off that, you can probably figure out what type of house my dream house is. It's not a cheap one, but yeah, so that's where I'm at, and I really want to see. So I think next month that'll be my goal. Probably will get nowhere close, but it's a goal, and it's good to be setting goals and trying to accomplish them because goals is where a lot of good things happen, and I'm kind of ready for it. $32,000 a month is a lot. How much is that a year? I don't even know. Let's see. 12 times 32,000. 32,000 is a lot of cash. That'd be like 384,000 a year. Again, most people don't make that. That is like, isn't that like a top probably 1-2% of the U.S.? I think it's around that. I don't know, maybe top 5. It's like a top 5 salary. I don't know exactly how that salary scale works. It might be, I think it is top 5 though. So maybe I can be a top 5 dog. You never know. You never know. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to talk about, is the man that, has been, taking over the internet in a way, one of the most searched people in the world. No, I'm not necessarily going to be talking about him, and what his beliefs are, but more of his strategy and how I think it is genius. And if you don't know who I'm talking about based on what the last couple of things I said, it's going to be Andrew Tate. He is basically, his business strategy, I think, is brilliant. And if I'm not saying they copy it or whatever, but there's definitely some concepts there, that are really big that you can take from and do really well from. So how his business is set up, at least with how he's pertaining to the internet and going big on the internet, is he has, I think, two uh, like groups. One of them is called Hustles University. I think the other one's called like the War Room or something. And what this Hustlers University does, what's really smart about it, basically it's just like monthly paid training course. Every run-in-the-mill training course that you see about how to make money. But what he does really well is his affiliate abilities. And what he does through the affiliate abilities is when people come into his university, his training course, what they can do is they can short his content. They make their own channels on YouTube. They make shorts of all his content. He provides them with the content. All they have to do is short it. And then they also get affiliate links. So every single person that goes through his content on either short form or long term on YouTube, and they get them to click on through their affiliate link and sign up for Hustles University, they get a percentage out of that earnings. And that is one of the ways that they can make money by joining the course. That's one of the money-making schemes, is just these affiliate links. And it's really genius, because I think he has over 100,000 people in this. And if all 100,000 people are shorting your content and sending it out to the world, and trying to get them to sign up for your course, you're going to be doing very, very well. That's another reason why he has blown up to the scale he has. It's just because he's everywhere. Everywhere you look, he's there in a way. Because you have thousands of people that are shorting his content, and we're keeping it long form content and posting it everywhere. He's also another reason he's done so well is because he is so controversial. And once people hear these controversial terms, it gets to the point where they pay a little more attention. I think I read somewhere once where a good way to get more like opt-ins to an email list is to wear a controversial t-shirt. At first I was like, what? And why does that make sense? Because the more controversial it is, the more you get them to pay attention. And once you have their attention drawn, it's a lot easier to get them to opt into an email or to buy something. And that's something that he's done very well, is to say some very controversial things, And those controversial things cause cause him to be able to draw in the attention of people, and if they end up liking what he says, they'll end up spending money with him. And that's something very genius that he has done. And then, of course, he has his value ladder that once they're in that set category, they can always go up to his war room, which is the more expensive one. And yeah, all around, he's done a very good job on marketing. And I wouldn't say copy him exactly if you have a business or something you're trying to do, but obviously you can see some things that he's doing is right and some things are working. Number one, shorts work. Just having a lot of content out there works. Maybe being a little controversial sometimes works as well. You don't want it to taint anything you've done before, but if you say some things that are controversial, it might gain some traction. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying it can work. Also, again, the controversial T-shirt has worked as well for other people while selling or doing opt-ins. And another thing you can learn is affiliates are very powerful. I know most people, once they get to the point where they're a big name in the industry, affiliate links are huge for them, because then they have their email list already built up, and then they can just send those people from their email list. It's like sending a herd of people, like a following. They can send their whole following to go to these other courses and buy them, and then they get a percentage of that. And that's how a lot of these bigger people actually make a lot of their money nowadays, is through that. They'll come out with, like, their one or two things a year, and then the rest of the emails you'll get are probably promoting someone else's product, which allows them to get money from that without doing all the work of making the product. So affiliate links are really big, and that's something that he's done very well. Sorry if you can hear this dog barking in the background. We have some pretty, so we have some dogs that like to bark, and not the favorite animal, but anyway, the last thing I wanted to bring up was willpower and how big that is. So we all know what willpower is. It's the power to get stuff done, I guess. It's the power, basically, it's how much you want something in a way. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently, doing all this, the willpower to wake up on these days, just like I talked about earlier, how some days it's hard to wake up, and there's the willpower to continue working instead of going off and watching something. I'm really bad at that one. I'm big on YouTube. I like watching the creators that provide good content, and sometimes it is hard for me to have the willpower to work on my own stuff instead of watching their stuff. And that's something that willpower will play a big role in. Willpower is huge, and I know that it's something we can always accomplish. I think it's about what do they say? It was the one story that the guy tells that explains it really well, about how he was in, I think it was like something about the military, or I don't know. It's like an old man walked up to this man, and he was talking to him, and he was talking about the things he wanted, and he was wondering, he was wondering why he hadn't accomplished those or whatever, and why he didn't have those things. And it was like the old man took him by the hair or whatever, and threw his head into the water because they're walking on the beach or something. And right before he was about to drown, he pulled him out. And the other guy questioned about what he was doing, and the other guy went to him and said, this is, I don't think you really want what you're talking about. And he said, what do you mean? You don't know what I want. You don't know how much I want it. He said, if you really want something as much as you want to breathe, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. If you want it as much as you want to breathe, it's gonna be something that you're probably gonna get. Because if you want it more than you're willing to breathe, you're willing to sacrifice anything to get it done. I know I've heard like Gideon and people talk about how much he just wants to make good content in a way that they'll forget to eat, they'll forget to sleep, all these different things they'll forget to do because how much they want it. Again, same thing with people on YouTube like Mr. Beast. They want these videos so much they're willing to do anything to get them. Again, he's done all these crazy challenges that you've probably seen because he's like the biggest creator on YouTube other than probably PewDiePie. But I'd say Mr. Beast is more of a skill right now, and it's crazy to think that the influence that willpower has on people and how big willpower is, and that is something I'm really striving for, through this challenge, is to have the willpower and find something that that I have the passion enough to really have the willpower to go crazy for. And I hope I found that thing. But like I said, it will be difficult at times, but just remember what the end goal is, and just work toward the end goal. And I know a lot of people talk about the journey and how beautiful it is looking back. So don't give up on that journey. The journey might have its highs and you'll have its highs and its lows, but as long as you keep going forward, that's all that matters. And once you reach that goal or that point in your life where you reach that goal, it'll all be worth it. So that's all I really have today for what's going on inside of my head. I'll Who knows what will be tomorrow, but I'll be here tomorrow. If I'm not, I guess I failed. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time.